Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to The Sauce, your source for celebrity news. Check this out. As you already know, P. Diddy tried to go toe-to-toe with the liquor giant Diageo, which makes and/or distributes an assortment of over 200 brands of liquor, including Ciroc and De Leon. Diddy alleged that Diageo racially discriminated against and neglected his vodka and tequila brands because they were quote-unquote urban brands while still putting money behind and favoring other celebrity brands such as George Clooney's Casamigos. So essentially, Diddy accused Diageo of treating his product line worse than others because he's black. When discussing the lawsuit, Diddy said, "Cloaking itself in a language of diversity and equality is good for Diageo's business, but it's a lie. While Diageo may conspicuously include images of its black partners in advertising materials and press releases, its words only provide the illusion of inclusion." Now, it turns out that Diddy only invested $1,000 in the company, even though he's raked in billions off of Ciroc and De Leon. But, as Diddy said, he really doesn't have to put money into his partnerships because his name is value enough. Check this out.
Is Diddy so valuable that you get to own a piece of a business without putting any money in to begin with?
Yes.
Why?
I would say because of the currency, the actual credibility that I bring to a situation. If I get involved in something, I'm not involved in a lot of things. And if I'm involved in something, there is a value to my involvement that has to be that has to be factored in.
Okay, so initially it seemed as if Diddy may have had the upper hand on the liquor company, especially after a New York court dismissed Diageo's bid to resolve the dispute with the rapper/producer behind closed doors. However, whether it was a coincidence or a well-thought-out conspiracy, shortly after Diddy filed his lawsuit against Diageo, the gatekeepers opened up the floodgates on him, and 4 women, including Cassie, filed lawsuits against Diddy, alleging that he abused his power, trafficked them, abused them, and awed them.
We have more breaking news. Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs is accused of rape. A lawsuit by R&B singer Cassie claims that she was in a years-long relationship with Combs that also involved beatings. The singer claims Combs trapped her in a cycle of abuse, violence, and sex trafficking. The lawsuit claims Combs punched, kicked, and stomped on her, and it alleges Combs blew up a man's car after learning that he was romantically involved with Cassie, whose legal name is Cassandra Ventura.
Rapper and producer Sean Diddy Combs is facing disturbing new allegations this morning. Combs is now facing a second lawsuit accusing him of drugging and sexually assaulting a woman back in 1991. He's also accused of filming the entire assault.
So literally yesterday, a third accuser is now suing Diddy for sexual assault. Okay. Jane Doe, plaintiff, alleges that Sean Puffy Combs and singer-songwriter Aaron Hall took turns schmaping her and a friend after an event at Uptown Records in the early 1990s.
Right, so as you already know, in response to the first lawsuit, which was Cassie's, Diddy tried to save face by paying her an undisclosed amount of millions under the table within 24 hours. However, his efforts to shut it down were a day late and $1 short because Cassie's lawsuit made it to court and Diageo was able to use it as leverage to shut Diddy down. And here's how. Shortly after Cassie's lawsuit was settled and 3 other suits were filed against Diddy, 18 companies that partnered with Diddy, including Macy's, Hulu, and Empower Global, cut ties with the mogul, and Diageo's attorneys realized that this was their chance, so they dropped more paperwork off on the court that argued that not only was Diddy unfit to be a partner, but he was also unfit to be a brand ambassador for their brands. Now, seeing that there was no path to victory with Diageo and no way out of his other situations with the 4 women, Diddy was forced to concede that despite what he said in his songs, somebody can hold him down. And last week, he was forced to voluntarily dismiss his case with Diageo without prejudice, which means that P. Diddy had to bow his head like a good little boy to Diageo and admit that his original lawsuit was really all about the Benjamins. And you know, even though he tries to put on like that tough exterior, P. Diddy is over there crying because by his own admission, P. Diddy finds it very hard to move on.
all I can say is sometimes, you know, you gotta move on. Sometimes, for real, with like everything, I'm one of the people that it's hard for me to move on. I mean, when I got fired from Uptown, I was crying like a baby. I ain't want to go out there in that big world. Shout out to anybody that got fired though. But for me, my shit was just, you know, I ain't had no choice. Shorty wasn't with me no more. It was over. You know how when it be just over, there ain't no coming back. It was over.
You got
real quick. Over real bad, baby. Real bad.
Man, he's about real bad. What?
Yeah, karma's a mother.
You know what, Diddy? If you really owned Deleon and Ciroc,
I own Deleon, so I can take more shots. It's all right.
They wouldn't have been able to take it away from you, because when you really own something, guess what? They can't take it away. Now I know, somebody out there is like, Sauce, why does it even matter? P. Diddy don't care whether or not he can sell Deleon or Ciroc anymore, because he's a billionaire. To that I say, I think it hurts more than you think, because this ninja doesn't have as much liquid capital as you think. And while Cassie's lawsuit may have only put a dent in the armored truck, being forced to walk away from Diageo just might sink his battleship. Because allegedly, now that Diageo has walked away with their $60 million per year, P. Diddy is out there hemorrhaging cash because his day-to-day expenses actually equal out to more than he's currently bringing in. So P. Diddy might actually be asset rich, but cash poor.
Good day, Samuel here, and I wanted to shoot this quick video to answer the question for you. Asset rich and cash poor? Is that possible? Let's think about it. Asset rich and cash poor, is that possible? In a nutshell, the answer is yes. You know, I've had a number of conversations over the last 7-8 months with different investors, and you know, this conundrum, this ideology, not ideal because you'll think I'm talking about another term in ideal, but this conundrum has come up again and again. A number of months ago, I remember talking to a very, very successful investor who at that time had spent all their money, plummeted all their funds into purchases and were waiting on one particular refinance just to have some cash in the bank. Again, yesterday I was on a conversation with another investor who's quite close to me, similar scenario. And I just want to say to you, it is possible to be asset rich and cash poor.
Source, can you please pull up P. Diddy's balance sheet? Alright, so P. Diddy's starting balance is allegedly somewhere around $935 million, of which $100 million was allegedly in his primary accounts at Bank of America and Citibank. And we all know, now that Cassie done cashed her check, that right there might be down to zero. Aside from that, Diddy allegedly has all of his money tied up in his assets. For example, he has $500 million plus in investments. He has $50 million in stocks and bonds. He got $40 million in gold reserves, and he got another $15 million in crypto. Aside from that, he purchased a private jet for $60 million. He purchased a house on Star Island for $35 million. He purchased another house in LA for $40 million. He also repurchased his house in the Hamptons where he used to have those white parties for $2.45 million. He also owns 4 yachts and purchased his super yacht from Eric Schmidt, the executive chairman of Google, for around $72 million. And he also owns 10 cars, plus he has like 12 more other real estate properties. So basically, over $814,000 of P. Diddy's money is tied up, in addition to the fact that he allegedly has some debt. For example, it's been reported that P. Diddy has an outstanding personal loan with Bank of America for $30 million. He has an overdraft from Citibank for $15 million. He has a mortgage from HSBC for $4 million, and he still has to pay his baby mama $21,000 per month. But we're still not done with the expenditures, because Diddy gave his mother $1 million for her 80th birthday. He gave his son a $360,000 Maybach for his 16th birthday. He gave Justin Bieber a Lamborghini for his 16th birthday. He brought his twin daughters matching Range Rovers for their birthdays. He lost $1 million to Rick Ross rolling dice. He bought Nori a Maybach for no reason. He allegedly pays Young Miami $200,000 a month to be his fake girlfriend, and he still has to pay Sting $5,000 every day for using a sample of his song.
Diddy still pays $5,000 per day for a song that he sampled in 1997. An old clip of legendary singer Sting started to circulate online, speaking on receiving royalties from Diddy.
Is it true that Diddy has to pay you $2,000 a day because he didn't ask permission to sample every breath you take?
Yeah.
Wow.
For the rest of his life.
Wow.
Diddy responded to the clip on Twitter by clarifying that it's actually $5,000 per day. Nope, $5K a day. Love to my brother at the official Sting.
Now, according to sources, P. Diddy allegedly earns around $100 million per year, but now that Diageo has walked away with the $60 million per year that they were paying him, that knocks him down to around $40 million per year. But here's the thing, in order to pay for his lavish lifestyle and maintain all of those yachts, Diddy currently spends more than $57 million per year on everyday expenses and taxes. So now, he's burning through more money than he's actually making. So he's going to have to tap into those reserves, and he's also going to have to cash in some of those stocks or sell something just to stay liquid, because the billion-dollar bad boy baby is starting to lose mad money by the minute. Now mind you, we still didn't factor in the fact that this ninja hasn't had a real hit in like 10-15 years, and Act Bad does not count. Also, 18 businesses dropped him, and he gave bad boy artists like Biggie, Mace, Faith, and 112 their publishing back. So his incoming annual stack is probably going to be even lower than the $40 million that I just quoted, especially since, according to Variety, Biggie's publishing was worth a few $1,000,000 alone. And if you add in the fact that this ninja Diddy is probably paying out the wazoo in lawyer fees and court costs, if these 3 chicks that are suing him for the SA actually win in court, Diddy might be cash poor, unless he can pawn off some of those yachts, that jet, or some of that real estate. I mean, for real, now might be the time for Diddy to take 50 up on his offer, because if you remember, 50 did offer to buy Revolt when he said, "I'll buy that from you, Playboy, for the low, because you know Cadillac and AT&T gonna pull out. I'll give you a few dollars for it now. Sell it to me, then we could be friends. I'm serious. Call my phone." Now, if Diddy is smart, now might be the right time to take 50 up on that offer. But you know he won't, because he knows that 50 is just trying to dig in them pockets.
Yeah, definitely. I was looking for you. I tell you, get your hand out my pocket, man. Get your hand out my pocket. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing on the channel. Get your hand out my pocket, man. Look at me when I'm talking to you. I see, yo. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, man. I see what you're doing. Nah, look at me, man. I see what you're doing, man.
Yo, 50 just be going in on Diddy. But get this, now is not a good time for Diddy to be cash poor, especially since an old audio recording of Keefe D telling the cops that Diddy put a $1 million bag on Tupac's head was made admissible in court last week. The audio recording, which was previously ruled to be inadmissible, was allowed into evidence because the prosecutors made a huge mistake. So now, if the defense wanted to, they can subpoena and depose Diddy, which could open up the door for them to bring Diddy up on charges for being a co-conspirator in Tupac's murder. Yeah, Diddy might need to start putting them classified ads up right about now, and he also might need to start putting some for sale signs on that jet, because he's gonna need to have his attorneys on standby, and trust me, they not taking no Diddy credit after they done seen that Diddy balance sheet. With that being said, I truly believe that P. Diddy's net worth is going backwards and he's losing mad money based on karma. And as they say, karma is a biatch, because ever since the beginning, he's been screwing ninjas over. And I'm not just talking about his artists, I'm talking about everybody. And I'm about to give you 5 specific examples. 1. Do you guys all remember when P. Diddy screwed over Tyson Beckford? He hired Tyson Beckford to model for Sean John and promised to pay him $600K. But somewhere along the way, Diddy got jealous of Tyson and refused to pay him his money. So Tyson had to take Diddy to court just to try to get his check. Now, even though Diddy never paid Tyson Beckford all of his money, he still used his image in his ads to sell Sean John. Check this out.
2005, we were in some Sean John ads. Yeah, and I guess things were left when it was time for you to get paid. Yeah, I still, to this day, don't understand what was going on, because, I thought we were a good fit. He reached out to me and Beth Ann and asked us to do it, and then, I guess, I don't know, man. I heard rumors that they felt like I was getting too big and I was going, make him obsolete. But how am I going to make him obsolete? He's his own, Sean John is him. I'm just the face, bro, and I felt like, maybe it was a factor like that. They didn't want me to be as big as I was over at Ralph. But me, I came in the situation just trying to, do what I was hired to do and blow shit up like I normally do. So, we ended up going to court over the rest of the payment, which, was just heartbreaking, Right, according to reports, you were supposed to be paying $1.2 million for the ad campaign, and it was like 4 payments of $300,000. You got the first one, then the second one, you only got half. Yeah, a while to get the second one, and then the last $600,000 you didn't get, so you had to go to court. Yeah, exactly. So it was a deal eventually. It didn't make any sense. I mean, you made such a splash in the press about it, and normally, I mean, I was getting numbers that nobody else was getting. Okay, nobody was making the numbers like me, and it was just like, why? I mean, you're this rich guy. Why is it a problem? Like, I show up on set on time, and I had to actually like pick up the phone, and my manager was like, walk out right now. I was like, what? And I never did that on the job before, walk out like that. It was so unbecoming. And it was just sad, and it was like, are we supposed to be brothers?
Yo, this dude Diddy never wants to pay people their money. I mean, that's just bad business. 2, did you guys know that back in the 90s when y'all were out there trying to look fly in your Sean John coats, y'all were actually wearing dog fur? Yes, according to reports, the king of luxury, P. Diddy, had y'all out there sporting raccoon dog fur. According to an investigation by the Humane Society of the U.S., Macy's had to pull several styles of Sean John hooded jackets from their shelves and their website after it was discovered that the garments were actually made from a certain species of dog called raccoon dogs. So essentially, while P. Diddy was out here stunting, driving around in Maybachs, jumping on yachts, and popping bottles of Ciroc, he had y'all thinking y'all were rocking chinchilla when y'all were actually rocking Chihuahua. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you, this dude is so grimy. 3, according to sources, a lot of Sean John clothing was actually made in sweatshops in Honduras. And according to some of the workers, they only received 15 cents in wages to make Sean John shirts that were selling for like $40 in the US. Additionally, some of the workers say that they were forced to work overtime without pay, and women were often forced to take pregnancy tests, and if that test came back positive, they were fired on the spot. Now, it's important to say that P. Diddy said that all of these allegations are not true, and when the inspectors went into his factories in Honduras, the factories did pass inspection, but later on the factory workers came out and said that P. Diddy and his people had a heads up that the inspection was going to happen, so they put on a good show and made the workers fake it while the inspectors were there. As a matter of fact, don't even take it from me. Let's listen to what Pablo has to say about what Diddy was doing to the workers down there in Honduras.
Hubo una empresa que hace más de un año se aprobó el salario mínimo y hasta hace un mes no le había pagado lo que le corresponde.
You know what? Cut the clip, because I know darn well that half of y'all listening to this show are not bilingual. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what Pablo just said. Pablo said that a whole month went by where none of the workers got paid, and P. Diddy and them had the nerve not to say nothing to him. I mean, no explanation, no nothing. But I guess P. Diddy was too busy to pay his workers because he was too busy over there eating mangoes.
You can do it wherever you want. You could be eating mango too with the ocean as your backyard. I ain't special. I just want it bad. You feel me? I'm not going to allow myself to not have mango. So I hustle hard, you know what I'm saying? You know, just I'm not feeling my way. No, baby.
Yo, why as a culture do we have the tendency to elevate the corniest dudes? 4, many producers allege that P. Diddy stole their music. They let him listen to a beat, he liked it, and then he turned around and slapped his own name on the tracks without their permission and said that he was the producer without giving him any production credit or paying him any dough for their creative work. For example, P. Diddy allegedly stole the music for his hit song Been Around the World. He also allegedly stole the music for the track Juicy from an artist named the Notorious B1. And he basically stole the music and the hook for the song Act Bad from a rapper from New York City named Swinderella. So a lot of the songs that people swear up and down that P. Diddy produced, he didn't produce. What he did was he heard it, he copied it, and then he stole it and slapped his own name on it. But you know something? Let's give P. Diddy the benefit of the doubt. So what we'll say is that P. Diddy just so happens to have the uncanny ability to time and time again produce beats that just so happen to sound exactly like the beats that other producers let him listen to like 2-3 months before he turns around and releases a song that sounds exactly like that song that they let him listen to. And you know what's crazy? As it turns out, Jay-Z also seems to have the same exact ability. 5. As reported by the YouTuber Make It Make Sense, P. Diddy once falsely accused some young guy who worked for him of stealing his Grammy, and he had the young guy thrown in jail even though the young guy was suffering from a medical condition in which he could have died while he was locked up, and P. Diddy refused to drop the charges. Now, you gotta understand that while this dude was like in custody, he actually blacked out because he had diabetes and they wouldn't give him his insulin. So when he finally gets out, he turns around and he sues P. Diddy and all the charges were dismissed. Oh my goodness, P. Diddy is such a piece of work. But anyhow, like I said, P. Diddy has not only screwed over his artists, but he's also screwed over so many other people too. Listen, let me know what you think about P. Diddy dismissing his case against Diageo and also potentially being cash poor. Also, do you think that the situation that P. Diddy finds himself in now is because of karma? Could he possibly be losing all of his money today because he got so greedy that he had dudes running around these streets rocking raccoon dog fur coats back in the day? And I'm sorry, because I definitely don't support like animal cruelty, but I'm over here having flashbacks of all the dudes who thought that they were like stunting when they were jumping out of their BMWs back in the 90s rocking their Sean John coats, and just thinking about the fact that they were rocking raccoon dog fur. I am done. Yo, let me know what you think in the comments. And while you're down there leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Sauce, your source for celebrity news. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.